stuff at the top level now is like poetry, but this is real football.
Once upon a time we went outside, rain or shine, dinner time we'd stay inside, only for a short while and go outside by the mountainside. Our playing goals, those trees they were our goalposts. You said it's mad seeing you here, pushing prams in your park, you don't live near. I am a father, we were just kids, let's reminisce.
We got to say thank you to the ones that actually gave us the tickets in the first place, and we got to say how well they actually did. One of the best days ever.
We were the best of friends and now we're just two young men, and maybe we could just pretend that we
I was wondering what to wear and I thought, oh, just look the best and maybe I'll get on telly. So
both those trees, they were our goalposts. Now I see you standing there and I can't believe it. And I can't believe it. I thought you'd never ever come back home.
It's about football friendship, and football friendship is amazing, you know. We love the Croatian guys I think love us now.
One left home. We were the best of friends and now we're just two young men, and maybe we could just pretend that we are friends.
So as we did the parade through Cardiff down here to the site, I had to keep my sunglasses on because I was so choked up, you know. I think the relief of it finally happening and the excitement that the people were enjoying themselves so much, all the values of the Homeless World Cup sort of came together in that one moment for me. Yeah, it was unforgettable.
I can see you standing there and I can't believe it.
You have certain challenges and goals. This wasn't one of them. To reach 100, you just take one game at a time. You never take it for granted. So to get here is a massive honour for me, and I'm just so grateful.
I am a father, we were just kids.
Croeso i gael Rhys Cymru.
Goalkeeper, then everyone grew. Who's going to the Euros? We were the best of friends and now we're just two young men.
What did you think of Aaron Ramsey tonight?
It was beautiful, wasn't it?
He was beautiful.
We are friends. 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 We are friends.
Noswaith dda a chroeso i'r Cae Ras yn Wrexham. Good evening and welcome to the Racecourse in Wrexham. You are joining us this evening for the final home match of Cymru U21's Euro qualification campaign. Joined with me tonight is the main commentator, known from the FC Cymru fame, Mr. Lawrence Mora. And Lawrence, how are you doing?
Really good, thanks Owain. Listen, thanks so much for inviting us along. Commentator. I don't know if we're going to commentate. That makes it sound like I'm going to be like the John Motson or
yeah, no
Martin
pressure.
Tyler, no pressure at all. What this is, hopefully, is going to be a really fun watch along. So we're going to bring you the game here. It's being live streamed. Buffoon Media are going through their paces right now, rushing about, trying to get everything sorted. So hopefully, it's online.
Well, the PA works.
Yeah, somebody else joins in with us.
Yeah.
But listen, this is a watch along, so we need you and your comments, your questions. Fire them in. I will attempt to answer them as much as possible. So, from a footballing point of view, I know absolutely everything about this sport. So, any questions about that, fire into those. But we've been covering on Welsh football fans, we've been covering a lot of next gen stuff. And I'll tell you what, I am absolutely chuffed to see you gentlemen in front of you. Not Megan Fringo, right? She's going to be very.
Yeah, he's really he's been in form for Plymouth, scoring for fun. I think that he's their top scorer at the moment, and he's gone through the Cymru age groups as well. He's part of the under-19 squad that reached the elite round last year. So hopefully, you know, his things going from strength to strength. His first start for the 21s here, and good chance to prove what he's got, really.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's like, from what I understand, he's a little bit of a throwback centre forward. Got a good bit of upper body strength and a bit of a fox in the box. Likes to sort of snap for those goals, and if it's in and around the 6-yard box, he is the guy on the spot. But I'll tell you what we should do. We should run through the team sheet.
Yes.
I think that's what they're doing right now, isn't it? Hopefully you guys can hear us over there.
Not sure if you can hear us. Apologies if not, but you won't be going through all the game anyway. So, Lawrence, do you want to go through the lineups?
Yeah, okay, well, let's go start with Wales lineup. George Ratcliffe in goals, Cameron Cox, Morgan Boyce. It's going to be... Who else we got along the side of the defence? Brandon Cooper, forwards of Newport County at the moment. Left back Harry Clifton, I believe, am I? Yeah.
No, he's centre midfielder, so it's probably the likes of Morgan Boyce and Cameron Cox will be the full backs there. Regan and Brandon will be the two centre backs. You've got Harry and Terry Taylor, the number 4, then will be the centre mids. Obviously you've got this sort of a bit of an attacking threat there between Nathan Broadhead, Luke Jeffcourt, Sean Spence and Liam Cullen.
Very good, very good. See, that is exactly why we've got Owain here. So some really talented youngsters in here. Listen, one of the things that's really interested me, Owain, is the fact that there's a few of these lads and this is their last camp, right? They've reached that end. They've been through the entire age group. In fact, I know one of them is Regan Paul. And Regan has, he's been with us for so long. It feels like, I'm not sure what an under-21s camp without Regan in looks like, to be honest with you. But yeah, there's a few of them who have reached the kind of, oh, beautiful.
Silence.
Oh, no, that's better. Hopefully you can hear us nice and clearly now. So, yeah, so there's a few of the lads who have finished and are finishing after the Germany game, which is coming up.
Welsh not finish.
Yeah, okay, very good, very good. Get the dad jokes in early, that's what I like to hear, mate. So take us through the players who are going to be finishing their Wales age grade career after this international camp.
Yeah, off the top of my head, I think there's 8 of them really, and about half a dozen of them have had at least 10 caps for the under-21. So it's the commitment to the cause has been tremendous, and hopefully it'll be great over the next few years to sort of see them take the next step up as they have over the last few years in the age group. So you mentioned Regan there. You've also got Liam Cullen, Swansea City striker, Aaron Lewis, Nathan Broadhead, the Everton. He's a sort of midfielder / striker there. So they're the main ones. Cameron Cox as well from Solihull Moors. We've also got a couple on the bench as well. You've got the Ollie Cooper, midfielder from Swansea. And Mo Toure, the ex-Barry Town, is on loan at the time, striker. It's also his last under-21 campaign, so it'll be interesting to see if they can make their mark off the bench today.
Yeah, it's going to be really fascinating. I'll tell you a couple of players, and actually you guys can just see the teams walking out right now, or we can anyway. And if that means we can, that means in a couple of seconds you'll be able to. So the players are just walking out. They're going to line up. National anthems coming. Moldova coming from the right. Right, take me through these COVID restrictions, right? So we've had the home team coming out of the home changing rooms, the traditional ones here at the racecourse in the grandstand. And where have Moldova come from?
Yeah, they've been.
Apart from Moldova.
They've actually been at the bar. Not drinking, obviously, but the change in the changing rooms means that they've got to take a separate location now. So they've, I believe it's called the Bamford Suite, perhaps, I might be wrong. But they're just down in the corner there, basically, while the Wales team have to take the home and the away changing rooms.
Yeah, fantastic. So we will give a little bit of silence while there's national anthems.
Hen Lad Vanada there, echoing across a quite empty racecourse at the moment. So it's strange hearing the anthem with no crowd, isn't it?
It really is, yeah. So yesterday I was at the Liberty Stadium for it, and they've obviously been playing out the beautiful singing that was at the Hungary game last year, and it just makes me sad. Like, usually it stirs, and doesn't it? It gets you going, and just in that empty stadium, and the fans not there, but they're singing, and it's. I guess you guys have tried to do what you can to try and bridge that gap.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. I think the events organisers have done a great job to try and replicate that sort of atmosphere the anthem has made. It is difficult, but if you look at the form of especially the senior men's team are in at the moment with the results they've been getting, and obviously something's working, and hopefully they'll continue over the next 2 games.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I'll tell you what, there are so many clean sheets. I don't think this is a new thing, right? This is a new thing. Wales keeping clean sheets, new Wales. But yeah, absolutely, it's one of those that's
Wales going that way, are they?
They seem to have got a clean sheet. And also, I suppose, just being on the senior side at the moment, one of the things for the under-21s have had to cope with over the last 2 years since Brian's come in, and he's moved that youth. Like, there's so many of the players that are in that squad that could well have been playing under-21s.
Yeah, when you look at this campaign, I mean, we've got Regan on the pitch who's had that senior side experience. We also got the likes of Rhys Norton-Davies, Dylan Levitt, Brennan Johnson, his first cap last night. They've all played in this squad in the last 12 months, and it's a great sign for the youngsters playing tonight to make their mark, and they know that they're being watched, basically. It's the time to shine.
Yeah, absolutely, and their opportunity, really. And when you see those players step up, it does seem so seamless. I think at half-time we're going to hear from Rhys Norton-Davies, aren't we? And a piece he's done with you.
Yeah, well, he did an interview last month on during, I think it was his first senior camp last month, just talking about his experiences in his background, growing up in Aberystwyth and then putting on the shirt for the first time last month for the senior team. So the pathway is definitely there. It's visible. It's clear for the players coming through, and hopefully there'll be more people coming from the production line then.
Is he one of your favourites because of the Aberystwyth link?
100%. From West Wales, yeah.
There's not a huge amount of internationals.
No, definitely not. Definitely the sort of Aberystwyth. Sort of kind of digging away Carmarthenshire, Pembrokeshire. You don't tend to get. You got Joe Allen and Josh Ian won his first cap last night from Pembrokeshire, which is down the road from where I live. So it was a good one to see as well. But it's more the sort of the other areas of Wales they tend to come from.
Hotbeds. That doesn't mean they don't like football out there. Any area that can produce Joe Allen is all right in my book. Well, listen, we're underway here. Wales playing away from the Kop. Oh, is that the Kop? Oh.
Sorry, we've just been shouted out for a team sheet there, so no problem. It's fine. So
is that the person who's doing the match, the MCing? No, it's not.
I think they're okay. I think
it's
one of the ball boys.
Okay. Well, ball boys having team sheets, vitally important. George Ratcliffe now clearing up the pitch. So the first thing I've noticed about these two teams is Liam Cullen goes to try and win it. Cameron Cox heads into Cullen. Wales look physically a much bigger side than the Moldovans.
Yeah, and I remember I was at the game last year out in Moldova. It was a really tricky side we came out. They beat us 2-1, and it's not a team to be underestimated. They actually beat Belgium 1-0 last month as well, who've been the group leaders for the majority of the campaign. So the very defensive side, very hard to break down. But obviously Paul Bodin's chosen quite an attacking side today, so we'll see what they can make of that, really.
Yeah, and utilising those lads who are at the very top of the... it's a great ball, by the way, by Regan Paul. He's forced that issue down to Cullen. A great cross into the 6-yard box, and just a header from the Moldovan to get it clear and away over to their right-hand side. And out of play, they win a throw, and I'll tell you what, they'll be relieved to see that out of play. That was a super bit of play there. Regan Paul really pushed that pass out to Cullen, and that's what started that attack.
Yeah, I think that's what they want to do, play it out the back, play it on the deck, and they break the lines then, don't they?
Yeah, it was actually Nathan Broadhead there. Sorry, Nathan. Apologise. But yes, Nathan Broadhead out here on the right-hand side. He's on the ball there. He's coming infield a little bit, getting onto his favoured right foot. twisting and turning, chefing past a couple. Oh, and I tell you what, that wasn't too far away. Nathan Broadhead started on fire, his penultimate international for Wales. There is a great article, if I'm allowed to plug it, on welshfootballfans.com, all about Nathan Broadhead. His mum gave us the lowdown, so any article which starts with the mum giving him lowdown, I think is a great read. Robin Edwards, thanks very much for watching along. He's pinged in a comment. Hard to believe that with over 20 debutants since Coleman left, and that Nathan Broadhead has not played for the Firsts. Well, let's go on to Nathan Broadhead in a moment, but 20 debutants. I haven't checked that fact, I'll be honest with you. We're going to take Robin's word for that. But that is an incredible number.
And that's the thing as well. And it's clearly, when you look at those numbers, it's a bit of a team that's looking ahead to the future, but at the same time it's also a team that's getting results. I mean, we've qualified for another major tournament, and we got 2 key games here, coming up over the next few days with the senior team that could put us against some of the elite teams in Europe in the next Nations League campaign. So it's looking good, really.
That is a huge thing, isn't it? If we can get over the line with those 2 games, get it done and dusted on Sunday, and that would be the ideal situation. But I think
watch the Masters then.
Really, are we allowed to talk about the Masters?
I haven't even checked the scores.
You've got to watch this. You're not allowed to watch the
Masters.
Heads
down focusing on this. I
Absolutely.
think it's been the same across all the camps as well.
Absolutely. But there's some decent start by Wales. They're looking like they're up for this and sort of moving the ball well. Paul and Brandon Cooper with the 2 centre-backs, and Brandon's had a great start. He's always been kind of well thought of in the Swansea ranks, but heading out to Newport on loan, I reckon he wasn't too far away from a senior call-up this time round.
It's done him the world of good, this loan move, and I think it's partly down to the player as well. He's got the right personality, applies himself properly, and that sort of pays dividends really. When he goes to the club, he's got a chance to prove himself, given the opportunity, and he's done it. In fairness, he's not just defending; he's been scoring key goals for them as well. So fair play to him.
Yeah, absolutely, and I sort of watched him. I've got to watch him a couple of times this season, thankfully. A bit of a privileged position, but against Watford in the Cup, and then obviously against Newcastle as well. And he's looked at home, and from all the highlights I've seen, he looks like he's a physical specimen anyway for his age. But he just looks like he's grown in confidence as well.
Yeah, and you always talk to him. He just loves turning up for Wales. Boy from Porthcawl, near Bridgend Way. He's part of the winning Victory Shield sides a few years ago. He's qualified for numerous elite rounds in the age group, so hopefully there'll be more success for him to come as well.
I was there for his under-21s debut,
They spelled the name wrong on the shirt.
On his debut?
On his debut, they spelled it with copper.
Copper.
But I think since then he's had the right one, luckily.
He had a word afterwards, so it was at Bangor against Portugal. I'll tell you what, it was a very, very strong Portugal team as well. But actually that day, Rabbi Matondo was playing, Dan James was playing, Joe Morrell was playing.
Josh Thomas
there as well. Cameron Cox, who's here this evening. In fact, Cameron Cox just racing towards the penalty area and a really cynical trip. Referee, surely that was a free kick.
He's not giving a foul there. I think Cameron was a bit unfortunate. So we don't have any replays here, but good bit of skill.
And another tug back, and that is an absolutely really nice piece of skill. I'm still surprised that the referee hasn't given that. There's a clear flick of the heels there as Cameron was racing towards the penalty area, but the referee spots this one. So I am afraid you are going to get very one-eyed commentary. Like I say, this isn't going to be Barry Davis and John Watson style. It is going to be a little bit one-eyed, but I'm sure you're watching it out of one eye as well. So but good start from Wales. Cameron Cox and Broadhead linking up really well on this hand so far, and Broadhead then
he's a bit of a threat for them, isn't he, Broadhead?
Absolutely. He's made a really strong start. Harry Clifton in number 8, he's the one who's been sitting in front of the back 4, but he's just made his way towards the edge of the penalty areas. I think that's Liam Cullen, is it, over the far side, winning a corner?
It's Harry's first competitive start, I'm sure. He plays for Grimsby Town, it's his last campaign as well. He only had his first camp during the last sort of year or so. Him and Terry Taylor both at Grimsby missed the last camp because of COVID rules, and Grimsby were unable to play, but we'll definitely be looking at this as a good chance to sort of make his mark here, and let's see if we can get it in from this corner.
Yeah, really good chance this for Wales. James Evans has been on the comments. He says poor refereeing. You're absolutely right, James. It did seem like there was a very blatant trip there, but anyway, all in the past now. Wales jostling for position inside the box. Cooper goes up for it, wins the header just as he's been doing for Newport County over the past few weeks. And Moldova scuffle that away before it's returned in there by Cameron Cox. It's come to the back post and just about free kick the referee has given there, and I think maybe left a boot slightly.
Yeah, I think he did go for the strike, but it's quite a brave challenge by the Moldovan, and Brandon O'Sear sort of went for a defender up front, and you know, sometimes a couple of incidents kind of happen in the box.
Committed. It was committed. Yeah. That's what it was, wasn't it? But yeah, decent enough start though by Wales. Do you think Paul Bodin will be happy with this?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've certainly been on the front foot for this sort of opening 10 minutes. Really, hopefully we can keep this energy going throughout, and not just that, we've got a bit of strength and depth on the bench as well. So you know, if they start getting tired of this intense pace, then we've got the options to come on as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, Luke Jeffcott was just winning a free kick there. It was headed into him by Brandon Cooper. Jeffcott showing his strength, holding it up, making his body big, and pulled over by the Moldovan defender, and just showing that actually playing that senior football, because he's up against big strong League One defenders for Plymouth week in, week out. You know, it teaches these boys so much.
Definitely, and Luke, from a sort of physical point of view, he's definitely sort of beefed up over the last few years as well. I remember him in the 19s where he was playing more of a winger position most of the time as well. I mean, he's definitely got the pace as well as the muscle. But you know, we've seen that he's competing for some of these balls, and hopefully something will come for him.
Yeah, and he just got a little touch there, didn't he? Sean Spence almost onto it. Sean Spence, really interesting kind of few months for that young man. Let go by Cardiff, right? And released him, and wondering where he was going to go next. And then all of a sudden picked up by Crystal Palace, and he's out there training with Crystal Palace at the moment.
Yeah, he's signed for them. I think he's been playing for their under-23s there. Again, a good sort of prospect. He's always been in the Wales age groups. He's been unfortunate the last few years with injury, but had his first 21 start last month, and you know, this is a good chance for him in the number 10 role, and gives the fans watching as well a chance to see what he can do. Yeah, the Barrytown fans, they'll be keeping an eye on him, because he had a loan spell up there, didn't he? I think while he was at Cardiff. Yeah, he did. It was both him and George Ratcliffe, the goalkeeper. They were at Barry at the same time, and it's a bit of a Barry contingent, this squad. You've got those two on the pitch, and you've got Mo Toure and Sam Bowen, who's currently at Barry on loan from Cardiff, on there as well. So probably be a few fans from South Wales watching this with a bit of interest. Well, I don't know what you guys out there think if you're watching along, but having been out and sort of seen the guys who go and play, and Ben Cabango, of course, went across and played some Cymru Premier football as well, and you just think that sort of league, with the coaching that they get there now from the likes of Gavin Chesterfield at Barry, you know, it's good standard of coaching for young players. Yes, definitely. I mean, you know, we can see the development in Ben in the last 2 years, where I went to one of the TNS games that qualify. He played in the Cardiff City. Oh, towards the back post there, and sliding in, but the referee gives it. I think it's Sean Spence again, sliding in at the back post. It's a bit of a hopeful one there, but he's got to go for it, doesn't he? He has. But Wales keeping the pressure on. Sorry, I totally no, it's good because Ben got the goal for them in the Champions League as well. So it's a good pub quiz question for you one day. You know, which Champions League, you know, Wales players have scored in the Champions League. You got Bale up there. Ramsey, I don't know. There can't be many others, can there? No, definitely not many. Imagine Ryan. Mr. Giggs might have got one in his time, didn't he? Yeah, he must have. And whether does it count for Ian Rush in the old European Cup? Yeah, he could say definitely. Competition, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah, Ben Cabango's the surprise entry there, isn't he? Yeah, and even if you look at the women's game as well, I mean, obviously Jess Fishlock and Jane Ludlow won. I think Jane scored in the Champions League, but unless Jess did with the Wolfsburg, I'm not sure, then there's still not many on that side of the game either. No, absolutely not. Carl Austin's been on, Ampadu, Nico, Rhys Norrington Davis, Smith, Levitt, Matondo, Tyler, Cabango, Woodburn. They also qualify for the under-21s. Yeah, absolutely. And you can just imagine with this side, with that sort of side, you'd like to think we would be qualified. But listen, we're a small nation. Yeah, and so that's the player pool
isn't that big. So if you do make a start, if you are a young player with a bit of talent, you'll get shifted up pretty quickly.
Exactly, and the aim of the game really is the player development side of things. You know, I mean, some of the results might look a bit, you know, sort of disappointing on paper, but when you look at how easy some of those, it's a great ball in by Broadhead.
Oh,
Jekyll's offside, unlucky.
Yes.
Great ball by Broadhead there, zipping it across. But yeah, and player development's key really, and you see in the transition of some of these boys going up into the senior squad comfortably. I know they sort of put a good performance on the pitch, and they're comfortable in the camp environment. So, you know, that's a key part of the age group system really that's been working well.
Yes. If any of you have watched any of our FC Cymru's, in fact, if you are interested in sort of the age grade stuff, I can point you towards a very, very good FC Cymru that we did during lockdown, where we spoke to the age grade coaches and talked all about that pathway and that seamless link towards the first team. And that's a good ball in by Moldova, turned away for a corner, and the first little bit of pressure from the visitors, who have done all right in this group, haven't they?
Yeah, this group is one of the most topsy-turvy things I've seen, to be honest with you. Teams taking results off everyone. We beat Belgium beat us, Moldova beat Belgium beat Moldova, and then Germany as well, and Bosnia were taking points off each other. So it's a bit crazy, and we're currently bottom of the group, unfortunately, but a win here will probably more than likely mean we finish third in the group. So, and when you're looking at the seedings for future draws, a third place finish would be massive for us, really.
Yeah, it's into the side netting there. Yeah, third place finish would be impressive, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And when you look at it, Germany, Belgium, Bosnia and Herzegovina and Moldova, it's some quite challenging, tough teams there.
Yeah, absolutely. We've also got Jonathan Death saying Brennan Johnson under the age of 21. Yes, he's. I think he's still 19 at the moment, Brennan. So yeah, great little debut for him. And he's doing some really good stuff at Lincoln, and again it's that opportunity to go out and play at a club that's going to develop you. And Lincoln, we've had them develop Joe Morell in the last 12 months and seem to be doing the same with Brennan Johnson at the moment. Richard Thomas, can't you guys keep up with the game instead of a load of gossip? Richard, I'm really sorry, this is not a full commentary, this is a watch along, so unfortunately it's going to be a little bit gossipy. But feel free to join in, ask any questions you want, drop in the comments, and we will enlighten you about the under-21s who are playing out here this evening. It's a good ball, isn't it? Sean Spence there, nice little turn. He's trying to turn it around the corner, but collected by the Moldovan defence, and the pressure's kept on. I think that's been the impressive stuff from Wales. The intensity's there right from the start tonight.
Yeah, and most of the play's been down the right-hand side, so it's good to see a little bit of a switch then, so you know if you can get Liam Cullen into the game a bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, early on it started off so well, didn't it, with a win against Belgium. Brennan Johnson, in fact, scoring in that game here. And from what I understand, he was very, very impressive. That was almost the point where they thought, you know, this lad's going to be ready to step up fairly soon.
Yeah, and it's, you know, again, that's well in the space of 12 months. He's gone from playing here in the Racecourse to playing a full international match in the senior debut last night. So, you know, when you're watching this game tonight, any of these players could be making that step up over the next year as well, especially with such a big year ahead with the Euros, you know, taking place in sort of June time as well. So who knows what could happen.
Indeed. Cameron Cox forcing the pace down the right hand flank. Ball's thrown back to Regan Paul, who checks it, controls, pushes it into Broadhead. And Paul starts again. Wales, patient builder, they're able to build across the back. It's one of those things where
it's a bit of a cheeky foul there by the Moldovan number 17, but yeah. Morgan Boys just gets on with it.
They're not afraid to mix it, are they? They really aren't.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They're obviously trying to sort of press us down the pitch, but we're a bit in control of possession at the moment. So hopefully we can break the lines. They're playing a very sort of compact, the Moldovans, and making it hard to break through. But we've just got to be patient when they're playing like this, haven't we?
Yeah, I think so. And Regan's, you watch when he gets it, he tries to force that issue, tries to play the forward pass. I mean, that's a misplaced one there, but he's tried to play forward. And I know that's one of the big things when we go out and we talk to the coaches in Wales. It's all about playing forward and trying to be positive. Jeff Cott now trying to close down the Moldovan defence, forcing them to go long, and that's neatly done by Cooper. He just leant on his man as he went to jump for it, and a bit of experience there to see the ball over his head. Regan Poole starts again, and they work it over.
Yeah, I think that's what's been the difference so far. When you look at Moldova there, they had a couple of passes. Wales' shape was strong, and sort of Moldova just rushed into the long ball, whereas we've been in possession, taking our time trying to find those gaps, and hopefully that will come for us. Here's an example now, and good strength by Jeff. He's got the ball there, and he's done well to win the foul. Fair play.
Yeah, it's an impressive start by Jeffcott. He's looking good over on the far side. Liam Cullen just going to collect the ball and pop it down. As the big lads make their way up here, don't they? There's Regan Poole heading towards the back post. Brandon Cooper.
Yeah, it's interesting. He was trying some of these free kicks in training yesterday, so fingers crossed some of the moves they got under the belt will work out.
Have you seen you've had the inside scope here then? So
well, we'll see what happens. I mean, hopefully a goal will come from it, but I'm not as savvy as into the tactics as some of the coaches, but I'm sure they've got something planned for these scenarios.
There we go, ball in towards the back post. There's Broadhead gone up for it, but really good defending by the Moldovan. He just kept his body shape, made the ball go over his head and away. So Moldova win it on the far side, bring it down the pitch, and it is neatly cut out by Harry Clifton. Just coming across there, putting the ball out of play, the Grimsby youngster. And Clifton's playing right in the middle of the pitch alongside Terry Taylor.
Yeah, both Grimsby teammates. Terry's there on loan from Wolverhampton. He's a sort of good little player, Terry. He's actually born in Scotland, but he's very close to his family in Wales from both Merthyr and Cardiff. And he mentioned in an interview that one of the proudest moments for him is singing the anthem, because his gran's a fluent Welsh speaker, so wells up when she sees the footage of him singing. So it's good to hear little sort of moments like that from the players, and obviously playing, representing the country means so much to them then.
Yeah, it was interesting. Well, obviously Regan Poole now trying to play a long raking ball out to the left hand side, but it's a little bit short and cut out. But Wales again just nicking in. There's Jeffcott turning his man, but unfairly, according to the referee, did seem to stick an arm out there and just spin his man. But yeah, Terry Taylor with the broadest Scottish accent that a Welsh international has possibly ever had.
Yeah, you listen to when he's done some interviews previously, and you kind of do a double take, but his heart's firmly in Wales. You have a look at his social media accounts and how he talks and things. He's very well spoken for his age, so he can potentially be a future leader on the pitch, I think.
Really? So he sort of comes across like that behind the scenes and in and amongst the squad.
Yeah, and he's a very likeable kid. All the players here get on really well on camp, and it's sort of good to see that sort of in the environment really then as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Patient build up again from Wales from the back. Regan Poole into Cooper and out to the left hand side, and at the moment Moldova just keeping their shape well. They press quite high up the pitch, and it's really up to Wales to try and force that pace a little bit. Cameron Cox going long down the channel, and it runs all the way through. Sean Spence not really given an opportunity. That was a little bit wild. So Cameron Cox, whether you know this or not, I know Cardiff fans will be kind of very well aware that he was let go in the summer, a little bit like Sean Spence. He's been picked up by Solihull Moors after a very random link with Manchester City. I think I'm not sure if that was his agent doing quite a job on that, but it was 1 week being linked with Manchester City, and the next week he was joining up with Solihull Moors. But at Solihull Moors is the ex-West Brom academy coach, and he was caretaker manager for a while. The name actually slips my mind at the moment, but very well thought of, and they're bringing players in there and trying to develop them for getting back into the professional game. So a really good move for Cameron, and he's getting some good game time under his belt out there. Hopefully we'll see that in his performances as his career develops from here.
Yeah, and this is really sort of, there's no
great
right or wrong path in football at all, to be honest with you. No. When you look at Reece Norton Davis, I think it was Barrow who he was on loan with about a year and a half ago, and you've seen how he's sort of shot up now, and he's a firm starter for Luton and both his national team. Who was a good ball there.
Yeah, it is a good ball in. It's come all the way out to the right hand side though. Cameron Cox puts it onto his right foot. He goes at the area. He does like to take a player on. Plays it out to Harry Clifton. It flicks off the Moldovan defender. Jeff Cott hits it. It's a far post, and it just goes narrowly wide, but it's a good sharp attack. Cameron Cox, I love the way that he commits defenders. It goes at them. There's a real kind of desire to make something happen when he gets the ball.
Yeah, he really covers the ground during the games, really. And if you look at his running stats, he's up and down that sort of right-hand side. And it's been unfortunate. Luke couldn't quite get his sort of header on the ball to get a strong enough header on it. But promising signs for Wales here.
Yeah, doing really well. So, just a little questions, silly questions from James Eddens. No, there's no silly questions, James. Probably, but how is Nathan Broadhead? I just want to say, how is Nathan Broadhead playing for the under-21s when he's 22? And he is 22. That his Wikipedia page is correct. As the ball comes in, and Moldova have a little opportunity just on the edge of the area, but it's good defending there from Sean Spence. And away comes Broadhead on the right-hand side, trying to take on his fullback. Trying to drop the shoulder, plays a really sharp ball in, but it's good defending. Wales will pick it up again.
Sean battled well there to win the possession back. Been unlucky the ball through from Brody.
Broadhead again now, taking players on. He comes back out though because it's been squeezed there into Terry Taylor. Back to the pool, across into Cooper, and all the way out onto the left-hand side. Morgan Boyce is doing well in that left-back position. I've only ever seen him play as a centre-back.
Yeah, he sort of tries both positions really, and I think with the 19s he's played a bit of both, and pretty sure with Fleetwood at the moment he's playing left back. Big step up to playing that sort of position for the 21s, but he's held his ground here so far.
Yeah, he has. Right, answer that question for James. Why is he able to play under 21s football if he's 22?
I think it's to do with the age group. So you look at the actual year of birth at the start of the campaign. So if he was 21 or under at the start of the campaign, then you can carry on for the remainder of it. Obviously with the delays due to COVID, this camp should have finished last month and these games should have been held in March. So there'd be a couple of older players in the mix at the moment then.
I've got you. And for anyone who knows, it's not on school years anymore, age group football. It's done on January to
Yes, the calendar.
And there's a wild effort which flies into the back.
Right into the back of the cock there. Yeah. Some historic Welsh moments around that area of the ground.
I'm pretty sure that's the end that Mark Hughes scored that famous volley against Spain in 85. Those of you who must know a little bit more might have been a bit random, maybe even gone and watched that game. But the pictures from that are phenomenal. The way the cop surges as Hughes does the scissor kick and the ball slams into the back of the net. Yes, indeed. James Evans says fair enough. Oh, well, I'm glad we answered that, James. Thank you very much. Wayne Williams comes in on it to qualify for the under-21s. Your age must be 21 or under at the start of the tournament. Absolutely right. Decent start from Wales. Still goalless here at the racecourse though, and we're just starting to press them, and you can hear Brandon Cooper screaming at the players, go on, press high. He's trying to demand a little bit more from his front men.
Yeah, we've got a number of fans watching on the YouTube as well. We've got over 1,000 fans out, which is great to see. A number of them are Moldovans as well, so croeso cynnes, a warm welcome to the fans over in Europe there, and hope you're doing well. But it's been a good start so far, so hopefully it's a game that's entertaining for everyone watching here this evening.
If any of the players stand out, then drop us a line in there and let us know who's standing out for you. Also, if you want any extra information on any of the players, just give us a shout and we will see what we can do. There's a foul in the middle of the pitch and the referee spots that one.
Yeah, some good battling there by Sean Spence. He's been getting quite stuck in the early stages here.
He has, hasn't he? He's been looking good in that number 10 role. Right, that's a raking ball again by Regan Poole. I do like his passing range. Out there to Broadhead. Checks onto his right foot. Puts it back to Cameron Cox. Cameron Cox springs it in right-footed. Doesn't beat the first man. Is headed clear. Poole picking the ball up on the halfway line again. And Wales can start again. Where can Regan play? Will he play? Goes across to Cooper.
Yeah, and Samuel Jones on the YouTube stream just pointed out that Nathan Broad has been a stand-up player for him so far, and it's quite difficult to disagree. I think a lot of our threats have come from the right-hand side here.
Yeah, they're linking up really well, Broadhead and Cox in particular, and the way that Regan Poole keeps finding them with these sort of cross-field passes, or where he forces the ball into them. So it's been pretty impressive stuff so far. Throw in on the far side, and Cameron Cox throws it back to Regan Poole. Moldova just cut off that ball across to the left back. So really nice play by Terry Taylor. He's taken out the number 10 there. Broadhead tries to get down the line, but it's well defended by Moldova. Really a well drilled outfit, and the result out there in Moldova, and was it because it was a result where we thought we'd go out there and win, really. So what kind of happened out there? Was it a deserved defeat?
Yeah, Moldova, in fairness, they did deserve to win. They played, they had a game plan out there and they executed it. They obviously looking to hit us on the counter attack. They sat deep, hit us on the counter, and that was the cause of 2 goals, really. But I think there's a lot of lessons learned for the players involved in that match. And fair play, they answered it back straight away. A month later, they played Bosnia here at the Racecourse with 2,500 fans, mainly school children, came to watch, and they put in a great performance for a 1-0 win there. So and that's part of the development of these age groups. You know, I mean, some of the defeats might look poor on paper, but it's part of the learning process for these individuals then.
There's a little bit of angst going on because Morgan Boyce was charging away there, and that is the first yellow card of the evening. Morgan in particular very upset by that. There was a lot of shouting for the bench as well, because just a continuation of fouls from Moldova, and just little petty fouls which keep breaking up the play.
Yeah, it's Alexandru Osipov again. He's given about 2 or 3 fouls in that area. So, and, you know, a yellow card in the first half isn't exactly what you want in a match, especially like this where you've been defending quite a lot so far. You know, he's gonna have his that in the back of his mind for the remainder of it now.
Yeah, just keep Liam Cullen, keep playing on him, and Morgan Boyce keep challenging him, and as they have done so far. And that was late as well by the number 7.
Yeah,
Fleshchenko was
the refs calling them back on
and
that
I tell you what, that was late on Cooper. It was not a good foul.
Yeah, he's had a little nick there.
And got away with it as well, because I don't think the referee has really pulled that back. And
hopefully he'll be back on his feet. And you know, it's easy for Gavin to get caught up in. We've also got another big match on Tuesday away to Germany, so it's no rest for the wicked during this camp. Yeah.
No free kick according to the referee. He's playing on with a throw into Moldova on the right hand side. And a good bit of it's a linesman has given that as a throw-in way on the far side as we're looking at it.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate there, Morgan. I mean, you know, you think he had to apply the pressure, but back to the ball there by the Moldovan wing. I think it was Osipov again, and it's sort of an easy free kick for them to win.
Yeah, it's just starting to get a little bit niggly, and Wales don't want to get dragged into it. They don't want to, this. It's been a decent start. Don't want to get frustrated, but this is a dangerous free kick, so now they've got a bit of defending to do.
Yeah, it's a first real test for this Welsh back 4, really, so we'll see what they do with it.
Yeah, so far, big number 14 is right in there. Dejani. So he's going to be one to watch there. He's being marked at the moment and cleared away by Jeffcott. Those two have had a real battle at the other end of the pitch, and they took it this time down towards the Wales goal, and everything's been cleared up there. George Ratcliffe will be able to restart as that Moldovan attack comes to nothing.
He's had a bit of a quiet opening half hour, really, but obviously for us Welsh fans that's a good thing to hear.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the games he has been busy. I think the Belgium one, especially last September, he was probably one of the players.
Oh, there's an opportunity! And I tell you what, that was well saved by the goalkeeper. Hands on head.
And that all came from the pressure there, didn't it? Sean Spence, trying to win the ball, put the Moldovan under pressure, forcing the missed clearance there from the left back, and it's a probably a great save there by Strysari.
It was a bit fortuitous the way it fell to him, just bounced off the back of the Moldovan defender, but Sean Spence fired it in there, and I tell you what, that wasn't far away. Let's see what Wales can make of this corner. It's going to be whipped in from the left-hand side. It's going to be an outswinger, this one. The big guns are all lining up for it. Cooper's gone for it at the back post.
He's given a goal kick there. If he were penalty appeals, but he's actually given a corner.
Changed for a corner.
Yeah.
I think that was on the advice of his assistant, wasn't it?
Yeah, it looked like it.
You're right though. Some of the Wales players there were shouting for a handball.
Yeah, I think Brandon Cooper saw something. We couldn't see anything from up here, but
he's still chattering to the referee now. Well, that's Jeffcott asking the referee, "Come on, it hit his hand." I have to say, from our angle, we didn't see a handball there. We're a little bit too far away from the action.
Cameron Cost coming in, could be a short one.
It's going to be another outswinger, this one. Regan Poole drives it in. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the time there for the head had been unfortunate with the contact he had, but could be a chance missed there.
Yeah, Poole came on that really aggressively, trying to win it, and really be a bit disappointed that didn't get on target, I think. A little bit disappointed.
I think Regan sets himself very high standards, but I'm sure we'll have more opportunities like that for him as the match goes on.
Rodri Williams dropping a comment in on Facebook. Thanks for watching, Rodri. And it says Liam Cullen in the Swansea full squad. And typical, then it all just disappears. He's already scored for the senior team. Yeah, it was a fantastic goal, wasn't it? I think at Reading at the end of last season, which took them into the playoffs. Quite a moment for the young man. Not quite getting as many opportunities as he probably would like at the moment, but certainly really well thought of in the Welsh system, Liam Cullen.
Yeah, and he's won us again, gone through the age groups, won the Victory Shield from a young age. Sort of broken through in Swansea a bit. He was great there, sort of played such a key part in their route to the playoffs last season, and he's won. Hopefully a bit more game time will start coming in his way now, and he's a hard worker on the training pitch, on and off the pitch, so he's one that they sort of strive for success for, really.
Yeah, lifted over the top. Cameron Cox had just got dragged inside, so Moldova tacked down that right channel, and Regan Poole makes a tackle. He can't stop it going out of play though. He nicked it away from the number 10 Steiner. It's been cleared down pitch, but it's going to be a throw-in level with the Welsh penalty area, just that sort of top right-hand corner. Looks like they're going to go for a long throw here. They're winding up for it, Moldova. Seems somewhat of a set move because they seem to be calling their players around and taking up various positions. In the end, it's easily dealt with by Wales. It kind of like, and again, good strength by Jeffcott. Yeah. Really held his body out there. Moldovan defenders not getting.
Here they've gone for Cullen though. Bit misplaced there by Poole.
Yeah, disappointing free kick, and Moldova come again.
It's Ozipov as well. He's been quite a busy personality on the pitch for them. Very short, sort of. I think he's right. Yeah, playing on the right wing there for them, but.
Sloppy pass by Turkan, the ball out of play, and Cameron Cox takes it quickly, and Terry Taylor gets away with it. First touch not too good, but the second touch just managed to get himself out of trouble, and away to the left hand side to Morgan Boyce, who looks up and then comes back across to Cooper. And after that bright start, it's just kind of slowed up a little bit for Wales. They're going to try and get their rhythm back a little bit. I think that's credit to Moldova as well, who've sort of settled. Oh, it's a really nice ball by Liam Cullen. Slipped it into Sean Spence, who's running at the defence now, cutting onto his right foot. He's found a little bit of space on the edge of the area, and again, perhaps there was a little trip there.
Yeah, he just lost his balance a bit there, didn't he? Unfortunately, he looked quite threatening going forward, and just a bit unfortunate.
There's Jeff Cott on the edge of the area. He slipped in. Sean Spence, what a save that is!
Again, that's a great piece of work by Wales. Really sort of cutting the lines and the through ball work in a treat. Great sort of good pressure on the ball there by Jeffcott, and Spencer's a bit unfortunate again.
God, super goalkeeping. Strasari racing off his line, and I think he just lifted his hand up and managed to stop there. But Jeffcott turning it around the corner, in behind the defence, and terrific save. And this is played back to Cameron Cox, who swings it in right-footed. But it's very well defended in there, and that was good work by the Moldovan centre-backs there. They snuffed out that opportunity. It's interesting to come all the way back like that to try and whip the ball in, but I suppose they're trying to get that angle, aren't they?
You don't see that often, and I think perhaps Cameron would have liked the ball to have gone a bit deeper there, but nonetheless, it's good they're trying these different things. We have a number of corners so far, and sometimes in a game the worst thing you can see is just constantly trying the same thing over and over again, so it's good to have a bit of variety in that.
My old mucker Alex Feeney is on. He's saying, last time I watched an under-21s game in Wrexham, they beat Belgium, no pressure. Cheers, Al. Yes, absolutely. Well, listen, you were here seeing Nick Mency, I think it is, who's the under-21s photographer as well for Connacht Nomads. He's here this evening doing his thing. But I like the look of Jeffcott, says Joe. He looks like the next Kiefer. Wow.
That's a good compliment. I mean, Kiefer's been in great form for the senior side at the moment. You know, he's played a lot of minutes there, but he's really sort of changed the style the Wales are playing, and he's fitted right in. So it's a nice little compliment for Luke there.
And that's a lovely little turn by Broadhead. Just opened himself up, let his ball run across his body, and he's going for the byline. He's trying little tricks. Plays it back to Cameron Cox. Cox takes his time now. He's going to have a run at the defender. Tries to whip in across. It's a decent ball. The goalkeeper again deals with it really well. And Moldova managed to pick it up and clear away up the pitch.
I think this is where the Moldovans sort of can threat us really. He's on the counter attack a bit when we're trying to get the bodies back, and there's a great through ball there for Koschenko, but he's just offside, luckily.
Well, really good play. Yeah, it's a free kick over the far side, I think. Yeah, Brandon Cooper just got his body there, just managed to get himself back on the side of the attacker, stop the play, and win the free kick for Wales. But yeah, I can certainly see what you mean about Jeffcott. He's impressed so far. Upper body strength looking good. When ball's played into him, you can see it's going to keep coming back. And that's what you want as a defender or a midfielder. If you're playing it into that lone striker, you want to see them make sure they retain that football and bring it back to you so you can go again. And actually, lovely little passing for Sean Spence as well, so he's got a good bit of vision.
Yeah, and that's what he's there for. He's a bit of a sort of creative attacking midfielder, really, and hopefully that'll start coming through for Crystal Palace. But it's a big 5 minutes coming up now for Wales, really. I mean, if we can end up going in 1-0 up, you know, cause a few sort of threats for them, then could be a completely different second half. But again, now one pass to Moldova on the break here.
Yeah, here we go. Down the left-hand side, Regan Poole just ushering his man away. But Moldova keep coming. Some nice little bit of play into the centre of the pitch. She's snuffed out though. Terry Taylor, Sean Spence just sticking a foot in there. Sean Spence now wins it again, and Jeffcott plays it out to Cullen. And our chance, and that's really good play actually by Sean Spence in particular there.
Yeah, he's
supposed
really
to be doing it at one end of the pitch, but yes, he has been doing his defensive duties as well.
Yeah, and hopefully he can do this for the full 90, because he's definitely been a threat for the Moldovans here so far.
Yeah. Question from Carl Austin: how come Robbie Burton's not allowed to play, but other European-based players can?
Yeah, they can still play. I think there's a lot of sort of decision making going on in terms of we've got to be wary and mindful of the COVID regulations and keeping everyone, both the players involved and the players not selected, as safe as possible. So it's both him and Jack Evans currently playing abroad, and trying to get the balance right there. So neither of those players are involved in the squad at the moment, but. Both players have been excellent for Wales across the age groups, and getting good success abroad. I think we'll definitely be seeing them again in the future, hopefully with the senior squad. Yeah, Robbie Burton, fascinating move out to Dinamo Zagreb. If you weren't aware, he's a central midfielder, a talented kid, left Arsenal. Oh, it's a really good little turn by Broadhead. He started really brightly. Still at Everton at the moment. It's a very good ball by Cox into the Clifton there, battling away for it. Moldova, Nathan, he's with Everton. I think he went on loan last year. Can't remember the
Burton.
Yeah, that's it, Burton, and he's sort of really impressed there. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in this season, though.
He was unlucky, wasn't he? He was picked up a hamstring injury just as he was in the side and putting in some impressive performances. Battled his way back to fitness, just started again, and then COVID sort of curtailed his season, and so. Real stop-start, and when you're at that age, it's those little bits of luck as you're trying to break into senior football that you need that kind of moment, don't you, to make that breakthrough.
Yeah, definitely. And talking to him yesterday, playing for Wales, obviously when you speak to him, it means so much to him. He's mentioned his favourite memories when they beat England in the under-19s qualifiers in Bangor. Nathan's originally from Bangor, so he said to see his family there. He scored 2 goals as well and set up the winner for Mark Harris, and I think it's a moment he'll remember for the rest of his life. And it's good to hear the players say stuff like that, and shows how much Wales means to them. They're basically fans on the pitch, but they're also good footballers, so it's we're fortunate to have that interest in the team.
Oh, that's a lovely touch by Jeffcott again, but it's just run away, skidded off the surface. But really good vision came into him, quick feet.
Yeah, and the link-up play is definitely sort of settling down between Spence and Jeffcott there. They're the ones sort of attacking through the middle when he got Broadhead coming on the right hand side, and hopefully now, especially in the second half, and get Liam Cullen more into the game on the left hand side, because we know what he can do as well for the team.
Yeah, it's interesting. Jordan Alexander Jones on Facebook. Hi boys, hopefully a goal comes soon. I'm liking the look of Jeffcott. Yeah, seems to be the standout player for a lot of people at the moment. So good start from him. The referee gives a throw into Wales despite the angst of the Moldovan players. So Regan Paul's just taking his time with this.
Yeah, he's a bit of a lieutenant in the back there tonight. He's in control, in charge, knows what's going on everywhere. And he is looking for those sort of quick balls out wide or down the middle for us as well.
Terry Taylor goes long into Jeffcott, who does win the ball again, but this time can't quite direct it to anyone, and it runs through to the goalkeeper. And interesting to see Terry Taylor come into that sort of fullback position then.
Yeah,
pick the ball up there.
Both him and Clifton, they cover a lot of ground for the side, and they're very possession-based players. They go looking for the ball, but also not afraid to put a tackle in when we need it the most in the centre of the park there.
The defender Jeffcott there winning another free kick, and the amount of free kicks that have been given, only one yellow card so far this evening has been dished out by the referee. Terry Taylor whips it out to the far side. Cox controls, nothing on forward, so he pops it back to the lieutenant Regan Paul at the back. And you can see this is a very similar formation that the seniors would play as well, isn't it? That's sort of almost a 4-2-3-1.
Yeah, and that's what they're doing. So you're trying to emulate, obviously, what they're doing. So when that transition happens, it happens seamlessly for them. Yeah, it's worth wondering, especially for sort of Sean Spence in the middle of the park. He's been a bit of a bright spark so far, and the link-up play with Jeffcott, and hopefully that can turn into goals either before the end of the half or early into the second half.
Now listen, we got some Zambians watching. Ooh. Yeah, Lucky from Zambia, from Lusaka. I hope I'm pronouncing it right, Lucky. Apologies if not. Here comes Broadhead, attacking well, and he's won a corner. So yes, thanks very much for watching from Zambia. Fantastic. And has been put a little bit further down is Jonathan Death. Apologies for taking Rob Earnshaw off you. But yeah, Ernie, one of our favourites, absolute legend for Wales.
Yeah, and seen David Collins there, cyfarchion o Pontcana, so noswaith dda. Pontcana is an area in Cardiff, so David's obviously watching from. But it is good to see the sort of breadth of where people are watching across the world when we're doing these live streams, so great to see the support for Cymru.
Here we go then, Wales with a corner right, 44th minute. This is a great time to score. It's cleared away by the Moldovan defence. Pressure still on though. Wales have won another throw in over here. Cameron Cox coming across to take it.
Yeah, and the important thing now is not to get frustrated. Keep banging at the door. You keep making the chances. And
Broadhead takes it and he goes all the way back to Regan Paul. He looks across. Morgan Boyce, left-footed. It's a high one towards Broadhead. Dealt well with, and that is the half-time whistle. And I don't know. Wales, after a bright start, they had a bit of a sticky kind of middle of the pitch, middle of the half. Came again towards the end. There's been a couple of opportunities. Sean Spence forcing the goalkeeper into a couple of smart saves. Disappointed to go in a goalless at half time?
Yeah, and I think the performance has definitely been a positive. So there's more of that to take from it, definitely, and it's more disappointing. We haven't quite sort of broken the deadlock there, but plenty chances to come, and hopefully more will come in the second half then.
Yeah, Martin Pritchard said Sean Spencer stood out with his work ethic. I totally agree with that. He's been at sort of both ends of the pitch. You kind of want him more at the sort of the sharp end of the pitch, really, rather than doing his business. But good that he's tracking back and doing that side of his game. And second half, it's going to be important to try and get him a little bit closer to Jeffcott and playing off Jeffcott a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. And I think there'll be a part of Bodin's team talk perhaps now in the change room. He'll have a couple of ideas up his sleeve there, and the players that will apply those sort of minor changes he'll do just to sort of try and break the deadlock. But so as we sort of go into half time then, it's good to hear Cledwyn Ashford with a comment.
The legend.
Yeah,
the
great start for the boys, and enjoying the coverage. It's good to hear. But if you don't know Cledwyn, he's every single player on this pitch I think would pay tribute to the work that he's done over the years with the age groups as an education officer. And one of the main things I think he brought in was sort of along with the likes of Roshan Robertson and Gus Williams and the FAW Trust was the having the pride in the Welsh team, that's obviously been sort of gone further higher with the national team, with the likes of Ian Gwyn Hughes and Sarah Penn, and just sort of, you know, the importance of learning the anthem, knowing the words and singing with the pride, because, you know, that's what we all like to see, you know, is representing countries are the biggest honours you can have, really.
Yeah, absolutely. I've watched him making them rap it so that they can learn it. So it's absolutely fantastic. If you go onto one of the old FC Cymru's, we've got a section on Cled, so you can find all about Cled there. Top bloke, David Collins, very lively game so far. Yeah, it's good stuff, isn't it? Gareth Oliver watching from Qatar, great stuff. Thanks very much for tuning in, Gareth. Hope you're enjoying so far. We have got some halftime entertainment.
Yes,
we
we
can
do.
stop talking for a minute.
We'll just play a couple of VTs over for you. The first one is quite an important one as well. It's just to show some of the work that the FAW have been involved with, show racism, the red card. So if you'll spend a few minutes to watch this and the impact that the work that organisation has had, not just in Wales but across the UK.
We are standing together with those who have endured racial prejudice in their lives. Racism comes in many forms, some clear, some more subtle. It affects not just the victim, but friends, families, and entire communities. We are not free from racism in Wales. All lives matter only when Black lives matter. To bring about change, we cannot be afraid to take the first step. We need to be ready to learn, to be corrected for change. Now more than ever,
we must say no to racism.
Rhaid dweud na
wrth hiliaeth.
And give our future generations the tools and support to challenge prejudice. It is not enough to be not racist.
We must all be anti-racist.
We are supporting Show Racism the Red Card,
our education charity.
Education will make us stronger.
Together we'll be stronger.
Gorau chwarae, cyd chwarae.
Are the mics still live? No. Cheers, mate. The mics aren't live.
Hello and welcome back to the Racecourse. I think that's a very important message there involving the FAW's work with Show Racism Red Card. The narrator of the video was Aya Abdul, and some of her great work in the Grangetown area has been tremendous, and a credit to her. She's actually involved in one of the FAW Trust Huddle Centres in Canton Liberal, which looks at getting girls aged 5 to 11 involved in a game for the first time, and the increase in participants over the last few months, especially before COVID, has been great for the game, and hopefully bright things for the future of women's and girls football in Wales there. So as we just watched our VT, let's now go across to the second one, and I think Lawrence mentioned this one earlier, as an interview with Rhys Norrington-Davies, who's part of the under-21 squad this time last year, but has since made the step up to the senior squad. So let's find out a bit more about him and the background he's got in the game and growing up in Wales.
Well, he's new in this squad this time. Yours is a very interesting background. I mean, I see you were born in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. Tell me a bit about that.
Yeah, no, that's right. I was born in Riyadh. My old man obviously worked out there. And then my mum obviously lived with him, born out there, lived there for about 3-4 years, moved back to the UK briefly, and then moved out to Kenya for another 3 years, before actually moving back to Aberystwyth and settling down there at the age of 7. My mum and my dad previously lived in Aberystwyth before moving away for work reasons, so obviously it was just the right reason to go back to Aber. Obviously brought up there, I went to primary school, Welsh primary school, then went to an English secondary school, Ysgol Penglais. And then obviously got into the football, and then haven't looked back really. So I was a part of the Swans Academy growing up, and then got released at under-16s, and then I thought the best option was to move away, so I ended up going to a boarding school in South East London called Royal Russell. Just did my A-levels there, just playing for the sixth form, and for the independent schools, and then managed to get picked up by Sheffield United. I mean, I was going to go uni. I did my ASs, my A-levels, accepted into Southampton Uni, and then just got signed up. So yeah, obviously I'm not going to say no to the opportunity of playing football, so yeah.
You were more talking about the pathway, getting into the senior squad now. Did it come unexpectedly?
Yeah, it did come unexpectedly. I had it in the back of my mind that it could be a possibility. Obviously, having started the season well at Luton, I thought it could happen, it could not, but either way, I'm happy to be here. I mean, it's been a great experience so far. I've loved every single minute. Even though I haven't played, it's just been good to be around the boys. But I mean, I set my target at the beginning of the season to get a call up to the senior squad by the end of the season. So I mean, it's come sooner than I thought it would have. But yeah, obviously looking at the squad, it's young. I played with quite a few of the boys at under 21s level, and a couple of under 19s as well. But even the more senior boys, I mean, they're easy to get along with, and it's just, yeah, you know, it's good being involved, and just, yeah, I mean, coming into the squad initially, you're always a little bit nervous, and you think, oh, I might not integrate well, but obviously they welcome you in, and it's good.
Any particular allegiance to a particular club when you were growing up? Who do you support?
Yeah, Man United. I'd say growing up, Man United.
Does it feel surreal sometimes? You're out there being coached by, you know, Ryan Giggs, one of the all-time greats at a fantastic football.
Yeah, no, he was a fantastic player. He's a great manager as well. I'm just looking forward to obviously working under him a lot more. Welsh football does seem to be in a good place. Obviously, we've got this year now leading into the 2021 Euros. Obviously, on a personal note, it'd be great to be involved in that, but we'll take everything as it comes. I mean, there's a lot of club football and international football to be played up until then. But no, hopefully we can do something special.
Croeso nôl and welcome back to the Racecourse. So joined again with Lawrence. He's got his cup of tea, warming up a bit here, and looking at that Rhys Norrington Davies clip. So interesting to see his background. You know, I think he was born in Dubai. He said, raised up in Aberystwyth, but a very passionate Welshman there. And great to see him win his first cap last night.
Yeah, and I think it's a really interesting kind of a career path he's had so far, because he obviously, from Aberystwyth, he was picked up at Swansea's academy, was in at Swansea's academy, but then let go by them. But rather than getting his head down and letting it kind of drift away from him, he obviously got his head down, worked hard, got himself noticed by Sheffield United, and well, at the moment, obviously out on loan at Luton, but doing really well there, getting some rave reviews, an important part of Nathan Jones's team there, and you'd like to think that maybe that next step is challenging back at Sheffield United again. Interesting to see whether he plays on Sunday, I guess, for the seniors.
Yeah, and obviously you've seen a sort of number of these age group games over the years, 19s, 21s, and you know, one of your co-presenters, Alex Finney, he's quite a big fan of Rhys, isn't he?
He definitely is. He was tipping him early on for a place, and was very much of the opinion that he was going to be kind of another big thing, and actually as a left back, that's kind of what we want challenging, isn't it? We want Ben Davies to be to have someone there pushing him along.
Yeah, and he's sort of, you know, he's sort of gone under the radar. He's always been Mr. Consistent with the age groups, isn't he? And he kind of showed that last month as well with the minutes he got to the senior side. So you know, it's good to see he's one of many players that have done that step over the next few years, and I think it is credit to the, you know, all across the talent ID for the 15 and unders, and then the coaches and the scouts for the 17s, 19s, 21s, that they're able to bring this type of player in that'll, you know, put in a good performance every time they put on the shirt. And so obviously moving on now, not too long, but 5 minutes to go before the second half begins, but just going back to the women's team and the women's game there. Then they got a big match on 1st December against Belarus, but
we were Belarus fans, by the way. We kind of Belarus fans first, and then
it is an odd one. We need Belarus to take points against Northern Ireland before we face them to help us get a playoff spot. But let's look back on a good win against the Faroe Islands the women's team had a few weeks ago. there we go then. That was a positive 4-0 win for the Cymru women team on the last month really, against the Faroe Islands. Very unfortunate to lose 1-0 a few days later against one of the strongest teams in Europe in Norway, but it's a great performance by the girls at the Cardiff City Stadium. So it's going to be an interesting few weeks ahead, and fingers crossed we can get something out of that international window and get the playoff spot, because I think it's a team there that deserves to be, and they're good enough to play in some of the sort of top tournaments in the world now, so hopefully you can get up there.
Right, talk me through the playoffs, right? So
Yeah.
how does it work exactly? Because it's not all of... Is it everyone who finishes second goes into the playoff?
Half the teams that finish second go automatically through, but the reality is I think Wales wouldn't have mustered enough points to get one of those top spots. So we are looking at finishing second now, but if Northern Ireland beat Belarus and they're playing a few days before us, then that'll put them equal on points with us if we beat Belarus. And a change in the rules has now meant that it's on head-to-head and 4 goal difference. And there's been 2 draws against Northern Ireland. It was a 0-0 out there and a 2-2 here, which will mean Northern Ireland get the second spot on head-to-head away goals. So it's one of the most technically mind-numbing things you could think about. That's what
It would be a very Wales thing to get knocked out on away goals in a group. Given all the heartache over the years and various dodgy Scottish penalty decisions for the men. So, yes, listen, fingers crossed, let's get a result. Let's hope Belarus do us a favour in
definitely in
Dublin.
On 1st of December.
Belfast.
Hopefully we've got something to play for on the start of next month. But let's go back to the 21s now as the players come back out from the dressing room. A sort of big half coming up, really, Lawrence. Do you think they'll be able to break the deadlock here?
Yeah, I think so. I think after half-time, maybe a chance to regroup, get the intensity back a little bit, and maybe start, if they can start like they started the first half, then I just hope they can take a chance if it falls that way. I was looking down the comments. I think we saw a Graham Taylor from Scotland on there. It could be a relation. I think that could be a Terry.
If you are, drop us a comment, just confirm to us. But we think the referee's just about to get the second half underway here.
No substitutions from what I can see out there.
No substitution from either side, and in players, each team is allowed 5 subs. There could be flurry changes in the second half here.
Yeah, absolutely. But Wales really looking for a win this evening to propel themselves up the table, hopefully finish third in the table. Moldova as well, though, a win for them, and they will be ecstatic with how this group has gone. So a really interesting half. Brandon Cooper starts it, as he means to go on, by clearing that danger down the pitch and moving his team up towards the halfway line. And we get a close-up view this half of we had Cameron Cox and Broadhead in the first half. This half we've got a close-up view of Morgan Boyce and Liam Cullen.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It'll be interesting if we can get Liam into the game a bit more. It's been mostly down the right-hand side with Nathan Broadhead, but he is one that's hungry. He'll definitely go looking for the ball. And it's funny enough, he was off the left-hand side. He scored the winner against Bosnia here, facing the same direction last year. So if you could have a bit of November deja vu for him, that would be great.
That would be good. Cooper just wrapping things up there with a nice easy header. A bit disappointed with the fact that Moldovan came through him as after the ball had gone. Down the line, Jeff Cott battling well for it, and the ball out for a throw-in. Wales have moved halfway inside the visitors' half, and the photographer having a few problems trying to get the ball back onto the pitch. Definitely not a footballer, that photographer. No, that was a poor touch.
Obviously they have been told no sort of touching of the ball in these
so that's why he's going for it with his feet.
So I think that's why he was getting a slightly challenged with his foot there, but eventually got it over.
Yeah, he's obviously far better with his hands and his photography than he is at trying to do flick-ups. Anyway, ball on the far side. Cameron Cox again attacking the Moldovan defence, driving at them, forcing a little bit of space, but he's pushed it a little bit too wide, and the ball was skidded behind. Broadhead unable to keep it in, and of course Wales attacking the end.
Yeah.
Where the goal from Ben Woodburn won the international up here against Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, that feels a long time ago now, isn't it? It was about 18 months ago, something like that.
It feels like another lifetime ago.
Yeah, and it was actually great to see sort of, senior football, international football back in the Racecourse, one of the oldest international stadiums in the world, and the crowd came in the droves. It was a sellout. And hopefully we'll get more opportunities like that in the near future. I mean, it's a sort of ageing stadium. It's got a lot of good history behind it.
But it's beautiful. As I come in, I love that view as you come into Wrexham, and you can just see the floodlights standing out.
Yeah, and especially if you stand, obviously it's sort of unable to stand at the moment, but as then training yesterday, just sort of stood in the cop and you sort of take the sort of grandeur of the stadium in. It's incredible.
Well, listen, hey, now they've got the Hollywood Stardust being sprinkled on Wrexham. Maybe we'll have a little bit of stadium upgrade. Maybe we can get to the point where Wales internationals can come north.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what comes from that. I heard that Ryan Reynolds and was it Robin McEllery, isn't it?
That's absolutely right.
I think I heard he delivered loads of gin to a Wrexham pub down the road earlier today.
Oh, is that right?
Just free of charge. So they're obviously really invested into it. And it's exciting for the town, really. As for the football club, it's been a difficult few years for them. But it gives such a glimmer of hope, and you can tell when you're talking to the staff here. There's definite excitement, and hopefully it becomes a reality.
Nice little bit of footwork on the far side by Broadhead, but he had 3 players around him, and they've hustled the throw-in out of him. I remember listening to Bryn Law on 5 Live, I think it was, on the morning after the sort of news had broken. Waking up on Christmas Day with the news that the guys were interested in that. And again, that's a late challenge. As Moldova try to attack down the left-hand side. Morgan Boyce wrapping it up though. The Liverpool youngster, he came through the same age grade as Nico Williams, a good friend of Nico's. Oh, that is a nasty little tackle on tackle on Cullen. Really
I'm surprised
nasty
if Fortuna
tackle.
isn't in the book for that. It was a very cynical challenge, left his mark on Cullen. But I think Liam did well there. He did a bit of a heavy touch, but he battled for it, and unfortunately he's paid with the price here. I hope he's okay.
Waving on the physio here, but Lucas Satori, the Cypriot referee, he doesn't want to get his cards out this evening. We've only seen 1 yellow card, but a number of little niggly fouls from the Moldovans. They've broken up play, and Liam Cullen, the latest to suffer a blow here. But yeah, it's going to be fascinating watching what happens at Wrexham. But listen, this is one of the most famous Welsh clubs, huge area that supports it right across North Wales, and they could build something special here, so fingers crossed. We will watch with interest, that is for sure.
And it's a hotbed of talent for football as well.
Isn't
You
it
look
just,
at the surrounding area. I mean, Neil Taylor started his career at Wrexham, Dylan Levis from the area as well, so you're getting these players breaking through in this sort of current age, so hopefully it'll long may that continue.
Yeah, absolutely echo that. Liam Cullen just coming off here and
good
taking
to
his
see him back on his feet as well. It's a bit of a dirty challenge there from Fortuna, but he's eager to get back on the pitch again.
Yeah, just felt late, didn't it? Just felt late, unnecessarily late. That's played long by Regan Poole up towards Sean Spence, who's beaten in the air by the Moldovan defender, and away they come again. There's a growing in confidence. You can tell that having kept Wales scoreless during the first 45 minutes, they fancy their chances.
Yeah, they've definitely come out on the front foot a bit more in this half. I think a bit of a change of approach. They're not sort of sitting so deep. It's their last game of the campaign, so it's their final 45 minutes potentially for some of the players in this side. So they want to make the mark here.
Yeah, indeed, and a little bit of space as the ball breaks. But it's quickly snuffed out by Harry Clifton. Free kick though, and I think the referee's got that one exactly right.
Yeah, I think Terry he's battling a bit too hard then, trying to sort of track back a bit on the back foot. And
Lisboy is the one who's gone over there. Brought down. He was just trying to tackle from the wrong side, Clifton, wasn't he? Just the player had got beyond him. A gaggle of Moldovan players over the ball, just trying to figure out who's going to be taking this one.
It'll be interesting to see what they do here. I mean, physically, like you mentioned earlier, Wales do look the the taller and the stronger side, and Voropy, the number 2 then for Moldova, has actually stayed back. So
this is a long range effort, it's driven in, but the wall does its job. And Wales clear up the pitch, but they don't clear too far. And Moldova will come again. Although I believe the throw was taking about 10 yards further up the pitch, but there we go. Oh, it's whipped into the back post, and that was an important header by Cameron Cox there, because there was a player deeper than him. And if he'd have missed that or mistimed it, the pressure is still on. Cox makes the block again.
It's be interesting to see if Wales can hit on the counter, a bit like Moldova were trying to do.
Yeah, and this is where you want them to play quickly and incisively. And it's managed to find its way out towards Broadhead. Nice little ball into Sean Spence, who twists and turns, has to come back out and away. And now the ball's driven into the box, but the chance was gone. It was just a little bit slightly ponderous.
Yeah,
and what you wanted was that really quick, decisive ball.
I think with Moldova, you know, coming out to attack a bit more on this half, it's definitely going to open the game a bit more, and hopefully Wales can be a bit sort of, savvy and make that count here.
Yep. Boys and Cullen playing across the back. And now a raking ball out to the far side by Cooper. Well dealt with by the Moldovan fullback, but Wales win a throw in a dangerous position. Nice touch now, fired into the box. Jeff Cott gets a little flick on there, but the defender did well to get his shoulder across the big Plymouth striker. Now racing away.
That guy, obviously he's found the pace all of a sudden,
he really has, hasn't he? But Morgan Boyes deals with him. Morgan Boyes at Fleetwood at the moment, on loan from Liverpool, having a bit of senior football under Joey Barton.
Yeah, and he's a good kid, Morgan. He's the joint highest cap holder for the under-19 squad, so he's had plenty of experience with them, and he's sort of come up the age groups with Nico Williams as well, playing both at Liverpool and with Wales. So he's come through with a good sort of bunch of players there, and hopefully he'll break through as well.
Yeah, super tackle right in the middle of the pitch by Harry Clifton there, but
good to see Broadhead back on his feet after that earlier challenge on the right hand side.
Yeah, he's hobbling a little bit over the far side, but he's picked himself up, taking his position wide on the right hand side as Cameron Cox now picks it up. Here we go, let's see if that tackle is still shaking Broadhead. He keeps the ball well. Wales go back to the halfway line, and that's what you like to see from your centre back in Regan Poole. He's played that right across. He's missed out the man and forced the issue a little bit and changed the point of attack.
He's obviously comfortable with the ball at his feet, as he's played several under 21 games as a defensive midfielder holding role as well. So you need a player that's happy to find the pass and also put in the challenge to play those two positions, and obviously going up for the free kick as well now. He's fancied his chances here.
He is. He's MK Dons at the moment. Obviously he was at Manchester United, famously as a 16-year-old, picked up from Newport County, taken to Old Trafford. A couple of loan spells out, but he's now found himself at MK Dons and playing wing back most recently at MK Dons, doing well in the side. Anyway, dangerous free kick, swung in by Terry Taylor and well headed out. That was right on the money, that one. And a free kick given Brandon Cooper, I think.
That was
Jeff Cox,
the ref had blown his whistle. Was that Brandon Cooper with the bicycle kick there?
I think so. I think it was.
See that later.
Had the goalkeeper scrambling even though the whistle had gone. He wasn't taking any chances.
There. Yeah, obviously sort of wherever you're watching the world, any questions or comments, just put them in either on the Facebook or YouTube comment section. Join us at the racecourse here. It's currently Cymru under-21s 0, Moldova under-21s 0. It's just under an hour played. And it's sort of an interesting first half really. Cymru were on the front foot, trying to the threats of Luke Jephcott, Sean Spence and Nathan Broadhead mainly, creating chances. Just unfortunate not to get the opening goal, but the second half certainly opened up so far, so we've got an interesting half hour coming up. So don't forget to tag your friends and get you all sort of watching this game. And Cymru U21's final home game of this qualifying campaign, and a final hurrah for a number of players who've been very committed over the years to the age groups.
Yeah. Just looking at the comments here on Facebook, we got Archie Farmer saying Jeff Cott looking extremely sharp, been superb for us here in Plymouth. Bearing in mind that a matter of months ago he was in the National League playing for Truro, and without a look at getting in our first team. And that's why he went off to Truro, didn't need to get a bit of match experience, games under his belt, and scored a bag of goals for them and found his way back into the Plymouth side. So great stuff there.
Yeah, and you know he's one that's been in the age groups with us, so he's been on the radar throughout, and it's good to see when the coaches, even when they go for these loan moves and some of these sort of perhaps unknown teams for most football fans, that they're still turning up for Wales, and the performances and it's paid dividends now as well. That he's one of the star players here tonight.
We do have a Moldovan watcher on Facebook as well.
Yeah, there's quite a lot on the YouTube page as well. So good evening to all of you watching in Moldova.
Absolutely.
Some good Wales away memories up there for you, Lawrence?
Yeah, definitely a few Wales away memories. We played for the fans team out there, winning that one 3-2, if I remember rightly. Yeah, pretty sure it was very hot. Very hot. Chisinau was a great place. We're still not entirely sure if that's the correct pronunciation, but we went with Chisinau, and yeah, no, it was good fun, really good fun.
And that yellow away kit, wasn't it? One as a one-off.
Yeah, Howell scoring one of his goals for us. Ben Woodburn actually coming on and changing the game that evening. Just the way he came on and added that little extra impetus. Here's Morgan Boyce though, getting to the byline and firing in low, and again that's a late challenge.
Bit of a late challenge. I'm surprised he's not giving anything. Morgan's not happy, and I think he's got every right to be a bit frustrated there.
Questioning the referee. But throw in deep in the Moldovan half, down by the corner flag on the left hand side as Wales attack.
Yeah, and it's good to see the sort of numbers watching the stream here. There's over 1,800 on the YouTube, so I'm sure that's past 2,000 when you combine it with the Facebook stream. So I think the support would very much be appreciated by the players here, despite fans not being able to be at the ground.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks very much for all tuning in. I hope you're enjoying it. It's a decent enough performance so far by Wales, but they're being matched by a very resolute Moldovan side. This one goes to the back post. Regan Paul gets up big and strong there, and there's a big shout for a penalty. Huge shout.
It's gone down. I think he had every right to call for it,
and none of it.
Obviously, the referee's he's got a better angle than us, so we've got to take the referee's word for it. But
it happened on the far side.
The players aren't happy at all there.
No, looked like Regan Paul was the one who came over, and it was a big rise at the far post. Ball headed back over. Another good corner in there, and I tell you what, the goalkeeper's flat on that. It's in! It's Terry Taylor! It's Terry Taylor who's got it!
Oh, he'll be delighted.
Absolutely delighted. The Wales players gathering on the far side, and it caused absolute pandemonium. What a good ball into the box that was. Super corner. Players flying everywhere, and there might well have been a handball on the line. I'm just going to watch the real replay here because it's whipped in and it was punched off the line. So I think it's a very good job that Terry Taylor put that in, because there would have been a red card and a penalty for sure, because that was punched off the line by the Moldovan defender by the looks of it. But fantastic determination for Wales, and Taylor, the man on the spot, to fire home.
I think it's fair to say it was chaos and carnage in the box there. Didn't really know what was going on. Claims for handballs, players getting taken out, but fair play to Ted. Just kept his head low, get a foot over the ball, and Cymru 1-0 up here finally.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Good start. And now they've got to come out, the Moldovans. They've got to try and attack. So hopefully that will leave a little bit of space for the Welsh players to exploit. Coming from Lee James, one guy at the back for Wales on a different level. It's so clear to see. His pass is banging, but he's on another level. So Lee, that could either be Brandon Cooper, I guess, or it could be Regan Paul, if they're the two centre backs. But both, I think, playing pretty impressively tonight.
Yeah, I think you mentioned earlier as a Graham Taylor in the comments, and you think he was related to Terry. I mean, drop us a comment. Let me know, how would that make you feel if you are related to him? I'm sure
if that is you out there watching Graham and you are one of Terry's family, then let us know. Huge moment for the young man. Huge moment.
And that suddenly propels now the Paul Bodin side into third in the group. So, that could be a massive goal for us in terms of looking at the seedings for the next campaign draw.
Absolutely. I'm just trying to scan back through these messages to see if we can find... Oh, there's Graham Taylor watching Terry Taylor from Aberdeenshire. So
it sounds like him. I mean, Terry did, he's brought up in Aberdeen, born in Aberdeen as well. He admitted into his supporter, so
absolutely.
There must be something there.
Joe asks, why should he get away with that punch off the line? That should be a red card anyway. But yeah, I think once the refs play the advantage there.
Yeah, I think we got a lot of Luke Jeffcott fans on the YouTube page here. Yeah. I think the Plymouth Argyle faithfuls are in their droves. Wishing Luke Jeffcott scored. He's been playing well, but unfortunately he didn't get a sort of touch on that. But the way he's played so far, there's definitely more opportunities going to come for him.
It's made a lot of people sit up and take notice. I think Cled's been on, brilliant, well done Terry. His dad will be doing somersaults. Well, I hope he's not, Cled, because at his age he needs to be careful.
Tell you what can do somersaults is Nathan Broder said in an interview yesterday that he used to be a gymnast for the UK growing up as a kid.
Yes, he did. British Championships, I believe. Good stuff. Cullen battling away hard. Oh, it's just gone right through the back of Jeffcott again.
And that's what
How many
Jeffcott's been
times
doing.
is that going to happen?
He's been doing that well, really. Jeffcott. He sort of forced Borapai into that position to concede the foul, and it's given Wales a free kick in a good settled position. Yeah.
The referee seems more interested in chatting to players about standing on the ball and those little battles, but rather than actually talking about the players that continually going through the back of Luke Jeffcott. Anyway, let's carry on with the comments. David Collins, great to see Cooper in the team. Great days for County. They are indeed. Josh Sheehan, of course, making his debut yesterday over there at Liberty Stadium for Wales. Bob Wright, can someone stick a shilling in the metre? It's very dark out there. It's all right, Bob, it's all right. You need more carrots. More carrots.
Yeah, I think the floodlights here sort of may not be the strongest for the live stream, so apologies for that. But I remember the game, was it the Trinidad Tobago game last year, the men's season, to install the extra floodlights, so it does make a difference. But hopefully you were able to obviously see that goal, because it's a great moment for the boys.
It was indeed. We'll put that on the list of the Hollywood actors. So another corner far on the right hand side as Wales are attacking, whipped in again, and I tell you what, that's a front post flick, and goodness me,
really threatening from these corners so far, and it's a bit of a mix of what they're trying. Regan Poole's just taking this one quick as well.
Poole whips that one into the front post and headed clear, and a big number 4 returned with purpose, but out of play.
I think Clifton was looking for that early delivery to his club teammate Terry on the side there, but just unfortunate. It looks like there's 2 changes coming on here for Moldova. One of them is Vasily Stefu, the number 9. Can't quite see who the second player is at the moment.
Here we are on the far side.
Bit of a change with the COVID restrictions here. Someone off the bench has to do the subs board. So yeah, it does look like it's Vasily Stefu and Serafim Kojakari coming on. And was it the number 7 that came up with there, Nikit Klashenko?
I think it may well have been.
Yeah, I think he'll be departing.
Yeah, he's departing.
Yeah, he's just come off the side here.
Substitution for Moldova coming off, number 7, Nikki.
And it's the number 11 coming off as well. He's just come off on the side here, Marius Yosipoi, and that'll be Stefu coming on for him just now. So 2 changes for Moldova. Let's see if they'll be changing the game much here.
Yeah, Wales got them pinned in right now. 2 comments, Ralph Davis. Finally, the referee must have been offered a case of fine Moldovan wine. It is fine Moldovan wine. Very, very good wine from that region. Chris Ford, early morning beers for the Welsh lads down here in New Zealand. Well, I hope you're enjoying it, Chris, as the ball goes in and just headed clear by the Moldovan defence. I hope you're having a great time down there in New Zealand.
replacing number 11, Marius Josipoli.
Daffers Roberts enjoying the match. Cheers for being along. Good to see you. Di Reese enjoying the game, guys. Someone needs to have a word with the ref. Well, we have been having a little word up here, but he's doing an all right job. He's just missing some of those fouls that we think need to be punished, and I think Luke Joffcott might be a little bit stiff in the morning, the amount of times he's had players bundling into the back of him. Liam Cullen now taking on his fullback.
So, good battling there from Aussie Paul. Obviously, Morgan Boys does look like the stronger two, but I think he just wanted that a bit more and got possession back for his side.
Yeah, indeed. Tallest floodlights in the UK, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
that's a little fact we've been given on.
I know Mark Evans, head of international the FA, was a big fan of his floodlights.
Is he?
So I think Rex will be one of the ones on his list, definitely.
So is that Mark Evans of Don't Take Me Home fame?
That's the one, yeah.
Oh, Broadhead skipping away from a challenge there. Really putting some acceleration there. He's a good ball in as well, but
I think it took a bit of a deflection there as well,
wasn't it? Yeah, took it away from Jeff, got into the goalkeeper's arms, and he releases the Moldovan attackers.
There's some Cymru Premier action tonight as well. You've got Carnarvon hosting Connors Quay. So a bit of a tough game for Carnarvon there, really, against one of the strongest teams in the league at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's been some really good matches. I'm loving all the live games on the Cymru Premier at the moment. Fantastic stuff.
Yeah, Scoria obviously sort of showing a game a week at the moment there, so I'm not 100% sure what is on tomorrow, but make sure you tune in.
Cooper, he's looking long down towards Cullen. It's a really, really good ball. Jeffcott plays it wide to the far side to Broadhead. He plays into Sean Spence now. A chance to turn. Can he get his ball in? Another chance for Sean Spence. Left-footed this time towards the back post. Oh, and the goalkeeper does well to punch clear. And then, as Clifton takes a touch,
good battling by Clifton there too.
It is. He keeps it alive as well, doesn't he? Morgan Boyce now. Boys, Clifton. Let's have a little look at his left foot cross. It's all right. Here's Boyce. Oh, I thought he was going to let fly. But he's tamed it well, and out to Cameron Cox. Cameron Cox lifts it in.
He's called that one early, the referee. There's no offside. It's more for a push, but seemed to blow his whistle away before the ball came in.
Seemed to be for offside, wasn't it? He seemed to have made the decision for the linesman, I think.
And just looking at the sort of Scoria schedule, is TNS v Barry live tomorrow. 5:15 kick-off, first v fourth. So a big game, really. I mean, well, Barry missing Sam Bowen from as he's with the under-21s, but it'll be good to see how they fare after the lockdown.
Lovely touch by Broadhead there, but he loses out in the end, and Moldova just becoming a little bit ragged at the moment. Just a little bit ragged. It's a long ball by Ratcliffe, but he's given it away. Cooper steps in. Controls the ball, just slows the pace a little bit. Finds Cameron Cox out on the right.
I think it's a game like this now where the experience likes of Brandon and Regan have had in League 1, League 2 the last few months have really come into fruition. You know, this sort of the game management for this sort of final 25 minutes or so will be very important.
Really good there. Boys moving it really well. Now they're starting to play. You can just see the confidence that goal's given. Brandon just took a poor touch there, and he's left himself a little bit exposed. He's going to have to race back. The number 3 puts on the turbochargers there. He's got a little bit of pace once he gets down. There's Gayu.
This is Gayu. It's the second or third time he's done that this half, and it's interesting to see how much gas he's got left in the tank.
He does put the afterburners on, doesn't he?
Yeah. Doesn't even look at her breath either.
Sorry?
Doesn't even look at her breath either, does he, in fairness to him? You don't see me walking after a few of those runs.
The goalkeeper, though, is demanding more of his players. He's come almost to the halfway line to urge his team on, to get them to press a little bit higher.
Strystari, he's the Moldovan captain for Trey, and I think the passion's sort of really coming out of him there, and trying to push his team on. He's basically on the halfway line a few seconds ago there.
And in fact, Graham Taylor has been back on. He says, so proud of Terry tonight. We are responsible for him. his Welsh and Scottish families are both over the moon. So fantastic to see, Graham. Well done. Hope you're enjoying the moment. I hope the Scottish side of the family enjoyed last night as well. We can say this magnanimously. We qualified a long time ago, so well done to Scotland.
Llongyfarchiadau to the fellow Celtic. Great to see them winning the penalty shootouts, and some of the scenes in the dressing room was really good. You know, you can tell it's been a long time coming. Obviously, when ours was longer, 58 years, but 22 years then without reaching a major tournament, and delighted for the Scots. It's a great little ball by Cullen. It's been unfortunate.
It's just almost broke on the edge of the penalty area as well. Kathleen Charlie Taylor has been on. Good going, Terry, and a couple of kisses. God, we've got the Taylor. We got the
Taylor clan on.
Yeah. I'm glad to see the Taylor clan has been getting involved this evening. Great to have you along, and brilliant to see Terry scoring.
I think that shows the importance of sort of broadcasting and showing these games live as well, and you got families and friends who want to see the players as well as the fans who want to see the future of Welsh football. So when the games like this and there's no crowd able to come, it's important to give the opportunity to support the boys on the pitch then.
Yeah, absolutely. Lee James has been back on. He has said thanks for the shout out. He's loving the commentary, top man. The right centre back, that's Regan Paul, skipper this evening, ex-Manchester United, currently at MK Dons, and you can tell he's sort of demanding the back, he's controlling it, and those raking passes of his, absolutely superb. So great to see Regan performing at this level.
Yeah, and back to the Taylor clan, Kevin Taylor on the YouTube stream, very proud.
So he's got YouTube.
The rest are on YouTube. The rest are on Facebook. So I don't know if he's done a boycott or something, but enough with that, you Kevin, and good to see more members of the family watching. So briefly touched on the Cymru Prem action as well. Also returning this weekend is the Welsh Premier Women's League, and one of the key games there will be a bit of a local derby between Swansea City and Britain Ferry FAWales. So Swansea on their return from the Women's Champions League qualifier last week, unfortunate to lose 3-0 out in Cyprus, but hope to keep their good run of form in the domestic league going as a restart this weekend.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. A tough game for them out there.
Yeah, it seemed so. I think an early goal sort of for I think it was FAWales they were playing.
That's a lovely flick by Jeff and there was Sean Spence charging away.
Yeah, Strysari was quick off his feet there, wasn't he?
He was.
Could be a chance to lob him here at some point. He's playing really sort of far off his line, more towards the edge of the box here. So we've got some confident players here. If they fancy a chance, they might even go for it.
And that's what I'm liking about Jephcott. He's just got that awareness, hasn't he? He's not one of those selfish strikers either. He loves to turn it around the corner and be that link player. Great stuff. Keith Young saying good tempo to this game. Hopefully more goals to come. Yep, fingers crossed, Keith. Fingers crossed. Coleman Had a Dream from the famous podcast. Go and have a listen to that if you love your Welsh football. Ruth and Di, all the way from the States, doing a Welsh football podcast. Loving the game in the States right now. And that's a poor tackle. They should have a penalty. And it's been given. It has been given. Moldova are furious about that. They're surrounding the referee.
I think that's what Nathan Broadhead does. He attacks with intent, doesn't he? And he's light-footed there, and he's caused all sorts of problems for the Moldovan defence. I really forced that penalty, but I think Broadhead can be very proud of that. And it'll be interesting now who's going to take the pen.
Play. Really
looks like it's Broadhead.
Broadhead charges into the box, and he was going. No, it was a poor tackle, but I think the referee's got that one exactly right.
And I think it is a booking as well for Vorapai for the challenge as well. Can they make it 2-0 there?
Here's Nathan stepping up. He's right footed. It's a very short run up. Goalkeeper on his line. Stoops slightly. Broadhead, the Everton under-23s player. The referee just being very fussy here, just making sure the ball's on the spot, standing in front of it. I think there's a booking there for.
A bit of squabbling going on as well with Liam Cullen. I think Ravenko, the number 13, is trying to push him into the box.
Yeah, if you can see on the far side there.
The referee's not happy.
Push him into the box.
Yeah.
The referee just trying to make sure that it's all cleared. He's been in a running battle, hasn't he, Liam Cullen on this side? So. Right, finally the referee manages to clear the penalty area. Oh no, he's going to have a word with the goalkeeper. God,
just having a chat with everyone here. Yeah, being social.
There you go. Right, now.
We can hear that.
Commanding Broadhead standing very still. Goalkeeper bouncing on his line. Broadhead right-footed into the back of the net. Wales double their lead. And that was as comprehensive a penalty as we will see.
That's a decisive pen there, right into the bottom corner. Fair play to Broadhead. It's only second in the 21's goal. Funnily enough, his first one came against Moldova last October. So he's been
Can we play you every week?
A couple of nightmares, hasn't he? So good to see on his 16th under 21 match. Getting another one under his belt.
Yeah, fantastic. Nathan Broadhead, he's been a thorn in the side of Moldova all evening, and tricky play on the side. He won the penalty with a really strong run, and I'll tell you what, it was really good play over that far side. First linking up with a quick 1-2 with Cameron Cox, then played it into Sean Spence, and then it was flicked back.
Yeah, definitely. He's done well there, to be honest, and doubling Cymru's lead, and it means we can maybe, obviously not settle down a bit more, but bit of sort of breathing space in terms of Moldova's threats, and be interested to see what Bodin does for the final sort of just under 15 minutes to go now. Any changes he'll make off the bench, any opportunities for other boys to make their mark on this match.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. The young lad from Bangor has doubled Wales' lead here. And it was just happening after the first goal, sort of the deadlock was broken. Moldova had to come out, they were pushing a little bit further, and they just lost their nerve a little bit, and Wales just started to really turn the screw. So it'd be interesting to see how the lads react now.
Yeah, definitely. Moldova, they're going straight on the attack here. They're going to have to look for something. It's their final quarter of an hour or so of this campaign, so they're going to want to make the most of it, really, aren't they?
They certainly are. Broadhead wrapping it up there, and Cox clearing high into the stand, trying to get them up the pitch a little bit. And but some good celebrations here online. Absolutely loving it. Well done. Cheering all over the world. Me in Sweden, says Richard Thomas. Great to see, Richard. I hope you're enjoying it out there in Sweden. Frank Gemmo celebrating, Olga celebrating, fantastic. And it seems like there's a few of the Bangor supporters or Bangor faithful out there cheering on Nathan as well. Grandfather was a bit of a Bangor legend, I hear.
That's news to me, but yes, very very well supported club, Bangor, very rich history, and
absolutely. Talking of footballing hotbeds in Wales,
yeah, 100%, definitely, and it's good to see Caernarfon as well. That rivalry, and if Bangor can get back up into the Cymru Prem, it'll be a great rivalry to watch.
Right to the edge of the area, Cullen! Oh, good save by the goalkeeper, pushes it away, and there's a little break on now for Moldova. But it's well marshalled by Cooper. He just held his man up very impressively, and then as the ball comes in, it's headed clear by Regan Poole. The little number 10 weaving and forcing Wales into a foul. It's slightly unnecessary.
Yeah, and it looks like Aaron Lewis will be coming on for Wales shortly, the full back, perhaps instead of Morgan Boyes or Cameron Cox.
So Aaron's a former Swansea. He was at Swansea Academy for many years. One of the lads coming through in that kind of age group.
It was a good age group as well, wasn't it? You had the likes of Aaron Lewis, Liam Cullen was on the pitch here, Dan James, Joe Roden, Ben Cabango's slightly younger, but played the same. He's doing well in Bristol Rovers now, Cian. So it's a good time for Swansea City, and they were winning trophies as well. So and I think that production line is still going a bit, and you've got the likes of Cameron Evans, Tivonge Rashish coming through, and they're all playing in the Wales age groups as well, and Danny Williams as well. So future's bright there.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic, doing great things at Swansea Academy. A couple of little questions for those who may have missed the opening goal. It was scored by Terry Taylor, spinning on the 6-yard box after it was actually handled on the line by one of the Moldovan players, but it fell to Taylor 6 yards out, and he absolutely buried it. So great stuff. Tony Broadhead. You and Davis has been on. He said Tony Broadhead, Bangor City, absolute legend. So there you go.
It's a double substitution for Wales here, and it's Sean Spence is one of the players coming off. Aaron Lewis is coming on now. No, sorry, it was just a one sub. So it's an interesting change there by Bodin, bringing off the sort of attacking midfield. Aaron Lewis looks like he's got on the right wing there, and then Broadhead's been told to take the centre attacking mid roles. So just to see what Broadhead can do there.
Yeah, probably his favoured position. Would you say Broadhead?
Yeah, I think that's where he tends to play for Everton. So hopefully he'll break through the ranks. Then it's difficult when you're a team like that, to obviously in a rich vein of form with a lot of big names playing in those sort of attacking roles. When you're sort of a bit of an understudy to James Rodriguez, which is great, but it's a challenge to break into those teams, then, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the tough thing. So Nathan's, as I understand it, his contract is up at the end of this season for Everton. And at 22, you just you wonder what his next move's going to be, but he's got a lot of talents. You just hope he can have a little bit of luck in that sort of breakthrough period that these youngsters need.
Yeah, we've got a bit of a shout out here on YouTube. It's from Ian David. It's to Regan Poole's cousins, Evan, who's 6, and Finley, who's 2. We're watching on the stream, so it's good they can see their big cousin wearing the red of Wales here tonight.
Oh, absolutely. And I tell you what, lads, he is having a cracking game as well. Marshalled that defence superbly, and he'll be desperate to keep a clean sheet as we head on into the last 10 minutes probably of this game, last 8 minutes of regular time and a few minutes of injury time that will be added on for all those niggly little fouls.
Yeah, and obviously sort of as we go into the closing stages, we will look and try and get some post-match reaction for you. So if you can drop a comment of who you'd like to hear from after this match, we'll try and get them to the interview point. Ooh,
that's just flicked onto the back post.
Yeah, no, I think it's Terry Taylor. He's been hit in the less comfortable parts of his body. That's funny enough, he actually had the same sort of knock in training yesterday, so he's been in the wars, poor guy.
A tough cookie. He's a tough cookie. He's is it Aberdeen and Merthyr, is it? From
Aberdeen and Cardiff, I think, or Merthyr, correct me if I'm wrong.
He'll be fine. He'll be fine. He'll rub that off. Doesn't even need a magic sponge, you see.
So we'll head down to the interview area just before the full-time whistle blows, and we'll try and get some of the players' reactions onto the stream for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Broadhead there trying to challenge on the edge of the area. Wales defending deep down right, back onto the penalty spot at the moment. That's headed clear again. There's Terry Taylor in there doing a job at both ends of the pitch. And Wales win a free kick to release the pressure a little bit and move up the pitch. And again, the lieutenant at the back, Regan Poole, marshalling his forces, saying, calm down everyone, just take the sting out of it. Morgan Boyce at left back. He's going to play long down the wing towards Cullen. Just cut out, wasn't quite enough on the pass. And of course, I guess with as a few of these players like Regan Poole move on from age grade football, it then starts for the under 19s who had done so well to get into the elite stage of their competition before COVID ruined their opportunity to make the finals. But that age group now step up, and the likes of Morgan Boyce and Ryan Astley of Everton. Oh, there's Liam Cullen stealing the ball back. Here's an opportunity for Broadhead, edge of the area. He's got his men. He's been brought down. He looks for a free kick. Nothing doing for the Cypriot referee. Absolutely nothing doing. So it's their opportunity to step up, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Like brutally unfortunate there. Finished top of the group there. Great performances, and you got the likes of Morgan, Joe Adams was on the bench here today. There's also a few, and Sam Bowen as well. There's also a few boys who were part of the squad against Belgium last month. The likes of Danny Williams, Tibbs, wasn't in the squad, but there's a couple of the boys who came up for the squad then that can also push up for this 21. So, and the result tonight could be a big one for those players as well. If we finish third, it's a higher seed in, and hopefully, fingers crossed, an easier group than if we'd have finished, fourth or fifth in this. So it's a big result, this actually, to help with that, to be honest with you.
Hang on, it's not yet.
Fingers crossed.
We're nearly there. A couple of shout outs for the man of the match. Bob Wright says Jeff Cott. We've got another one saying Terry Taylor, and also a vote for who else did I see up here? I think it was another Jeff Cott, so 2 Jeff Cotts. And we got a shout out from Daniel Hopkins. Now, he said that Colin Lewis is 50 today and he wants to say happy birthday to him. But I know that the Wales LA legend Big Col, 50, I'm not sure, could be 55 I think by now, Dan. But anyway, happy birthday, big man. I hope you're enjoying watching Wales win this evening.
Yeah, I'm just about to pop off now, Lawrence. We'll try and get some of these players up for a bit of post-match reaction, because I'm sure the crowd will be interested to hear their thoughts. So we'll catch up with you soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks very much, Owain. Thanks for your time. It's been a pleasure, mate. It's been a pleasure.
So well.
Well, listen, as Owen goes away, we're going to have to shuffle around in the commentary position a little bit up here in the back of the stand, so I can actually let him out. A free kick on the halfway line, and Wales in no hurry at all to take this, and Jeff Cott runs the channels yet again, controls it well, just shields it, and does well to win a corner for Wales, and again they'll just take their time going into this one. A few more. Regan Poole getting a couple of shouts. David Collins says Spence man of the match. He definitely had a good game in there, David, didn't he? Yeah, Ian Foxwell going for Regan Poole as man of the match there. Katie Wilson says man of the match Terry Taylor. So yeah, there's been some very good performances out there. Owain will shift through these and he will find us a couple of people to chat to post-match. Corner swung in towards the back post. I tell you what, again, that was Brandon Cooper at the back post getting up really high. Now sat in the 6-yard box. There's some great photographs of Brandon Cooper recently scoring for Newport, and my goodness, what a leap, what an absolute leap. So fantastic stuff. Colin, not 50 apparently. He's chucked a message in there, definitely not 50. So well, happy birthday, Colin, anyway. Jeff Cott for Lyle Charlie for man of the match. Terry Taylor, Diane Garden says for man of the match. Wales battling away. Can they get a third here this evening? Oh, and here's opportunity. Great play by Morgan Boyce, left-footed. Goodness me, carried away by the goalkeeper. It was a terrific bit of play from the left back there. Found a bit of space. Great touch. Oh, he's got his head on his hands. He can't believe it. He thought that was his moment.
Substitution for Wales coming on, number 18 Mamadou Toure replacing number 9 Luke Jeff Cott.
Yeah, Jeff Cott making his way off. Mo Toure coming on.
And coming on number 17 Oliver Cooper.
And Ollie Cooper coming on.
Nathan Broadhead.
And Nathan Broadhead, scorer of Wales' second goal from the penalty spot, won it and scored from the penalty spot. And he makes way, his job done. So 2 fresh legs up front for the last few minutes here for Wales as they try and run out time. That's a great ball in again. Those corners. First half Wales were doing outswingers and they were being dealt with fairly easily, but after the break, Terry Taylor coming over to the left-hand side to whip in some in-swingers, and they have caused absolute chaos, and also the ones from the far right-hand side as well. Claire, it's an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much. Hope you've enjoyed the coverage. Hope you've all enjoyed it. It's been a pleasure to see the youngsters. Oh, that's a nasty challenge. Mo Toure, though, sets it up. And unfortunately, right, here go Moldova. They're not giving up just yet. Twisting and turning, run and played back out to the edge of the penalty area. Cullen working really hard though to snuff out that chance. Morgan Boyce, Ollie, that's a good block by Ollie Cooper. He's rushed out of that, but out they come again and fired over the bar. Ratcliffe watches it go by and the ball ends up in the cop. And a yellow card is shown I'm not entirely sure who that was for, whether that was for some dissent or who it was actually shown to be honest with you. The referee just appeared to be waving that into the air. So there we go. We're seeing out into injury time. It's been a good performance this. James Evans just comes in with a fantastic dad joke right at the end. The Moldovan goalie is a bit like a Dracula, afraid of crosses. It's an old favourite, James, an old favourite. Here we go, on the halfway line, Wales trying to win a free kick, looking for the referee again, but nothing doing. Finally, they get a little bit of control on it. Mo Touré gets past one challenge. Didn't he do well there? Very strong in the tackle. Good bit of skill as well. And the ball is played in. Boys getting to the byline. Pulls it back. Cooper with a little flick. Mo Touré! He's only been on the pitch for a few moments. And he is going to absolutely love that. It was a really good spin. Fired into the ground. Mo Touré wrapping it up, and it's been a very impressive second half. Once Terry Taylor got the first, it was really only one winner. They've managed the game superbly, and very impressive stuff by Wales second half. Mo Touré getting number 3. Spent time at Barry Town. He was at Newport County for a while, and currently with Salford City. So Mo Touré there, just jogging back. I think certainly not his first touch, but it wasn't far off. In injury time, Mo Touré wrapping up the scoring, the Salford forward. His first goal for the under-21s on his 5th cap, so he will be ecstatic. He's one of those players that we were talking about earlier that's coming to the end of his age grade football with Wales. So what a way to sign off. One more game to come. I'm not sure what the referee's given there. So it's changed the throw-in, I think, to Moldova. And there we go, the full-time whistle is blown. The referee brings it to a close. A super second half from Wales. They dominated from the first minute. Once Terry Taylor put them in front, spinning on the 6-yard box and smashing the ball into the back of the net, it was one-way traffic. Very well managed by the Welsh youngsters. The second goal coming from Nathan Broadhead, a good bit of skill in the penalty box, brought down, up-stepped the young Everton forward, and he fired a ball into the back of the net to double the lead. And then late on in the game, Mo Touré on as a substitute for the very impressive Luke Jeffcott, again firing home from close range after a significant amount of pressure. So fantastic stuff, so well done to all of them. Really, really good way to finish their home campaign in this under-21s. Likely to finish 3rd in the group. Owen's going to be sorting out some interviews over the far side, so we will hand over to him. Stay tuned on the live, and we will head over when we can to try and get some reaction from the players. Just a couple of little last comments. Thank you so much for the kind words. Thank you very much for all the comments during the game. Fantastic to have you all along here. Broadhead, Paul, Taylor, they were the standout players according to Ewan Davis. Really well done according to Richard Thomas. He was watching out there in Sweden. Someone asking that George Ratcliffe, is he any relation to Kevin Ratcliffe? No, wrong end of the country. George Ratcliffe, young Cardiff lad. Kevin, obviously from this end of Wales. So fantastic stuff. Well done, everybody. And I hope you've enjoyed tonight. We'll stay on the live and we'll get you some reaction as soon as we can. For now, thanks very much.
Is it? Oh, no, you're just going to be asking us?
Yeah, just about the game.
Okay.
Hello, and joined pitside now by two of the scorers. Big smiles on their faces, Terry Taylor and Mo Toure. Start off with you, Terry. Second game and your first goal for the 21s. You look delighted.
Yeah, well, I'm still in disbelief a bit. Yeah, it just sort of fell to me and I got it in the net. So yeah, I think I'm happy to score, but obviously the most important is the result for the team.
It's a bit of a scramble in the box, so wasn't it? But you just head down, get it back in there.
Yeah, it just fell to me. I just gambled on it and then just went in luckily.
And then more for you as well. First goal for the 21s. You must be just as delighted as well.
Yeah, I'm over the moon. Obviously, pre-season didn't have a club, and then obviously Salford took me in, so I was struggling to find somewhere. But I've been working hard for this opportunity. Went away to Belgium. Unfortunately, lost 6-0. But here now, we can only do what's in front of us. And I'm over the moon to get my first goal for the 21s.
That's the thing as well, this puts us to third in the table, so great sign. And looking ahead to Germany too, that's going to be a huge challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, obviously we can't qualify now, but our aim is to leave other teams thinking, wow, even though they can't qualify, they're still putting in a hard shift, and that's our aim, is just to finish as high as we can.
Terry, finally, we had a few of your family members on, your parents were watching, and an uncle in Edinburgh, so good for them to watch the game as well.
Yeah, I think that's most important to me, is just to see that my family are watching and I'm making them proud, so I'm delighted.
Oh, well, cheers both. I'll let you both get inside and enjoy the
Cheers. Cheers.
How's he going? Cheers, right? Nice one. No worries. Cool, pleasure.